Hi everyone. We're going to skip round 15, which was a draw between Lasker and Pillsbury. And so after 15 rounds, Lasker has 9.5 points out of 15. So 9.5 and what's the math? 5.5. So he's +4. And running away with the tournament. I think the second closest score was an even score, 7.5 out of 15. So he's very close to clinching first place. This game I found very instructive. It kind of resonated with me. And it all started in this position. White played the move, bishop to e5 here. And then Chigorin played the move, rook to g6. And if he played the rook back somewhere like f7 or f8, rook to g3 was coming, and it was kind of annoying. So he wanted to stop that with rook g6. However, now we notice a problem. What is that problem? This rook is out of play. And it's very, very hard to get it back into the game. And the point when you see something like this is just to remember how important it is to not put one of your pieces in a spot where it can really never get back into the action. And I feel like this is what happened to Chigorin in this game. So let's watch how it went. f3. And White just kind of plays normally, because the point is, this rook's just not coming into the game. White's bishop on e5 is very strong. I'm not sure that b5 is great, opening up the position for White. Rook c8, rook to e3. Rook c4 is an interesting try. Queen b4 attacking it. And Black actually just sacrifices a pawn to get some activity. With ideas like queen h4 as well. Queen a5, blocking the queen. And now White is also up a pawn. So, I mean, obviously the position is very good, but as you can see, this rook on g6, it's just not really involved in the action. And so, just seeing a game like this, you got to remember this lesson. Be careful when your rooks are kind of stranded out there like this and they can't get involved in the game. It's going to hurt you later. I had a student who annotated a game like this where the same exact thing happened to him. He kind of left his rook on a square where it just couldn't come back into the game. And I was like, hey, look at this classic game. Try to guess all the moves in this classic game. Because my feeling was that once he did that, he's never going to forget this idea again. And you can really learn a lot from classic games. If you learn these lessons and internalize them, it's going to help you a lot. So just remember this rook. Dream about it tonight. And then when you start playing chess, there's a good chance you're going to look for opportunities to make your opponent's pieces bad and make sure your pieces are good. The game, there was still one more interesting moment. Queen b4, queen a6, and as you notice, this rook is just not doing anything. Rook to c7 is a good move. I also thought queen d6 looked tempting, because if we can just trade pieces off, we're up a pawn, we're going to go rook c7, it should be a pretty easy win. Just put the rook on c7, the bishop on e5, and so on. I'd like you guys to pause your video here and figure out what you would do for Black in response to queen to d6. Yeah, queen d6 is a serious mistake. With this move, we allow Black to get this rook right back into the action. Black has the move, rook takes g2. And White turns out to be lucky that he's not losing. After king takes g2, bishop f1, king g1 just loses to queen e2. There's no stopping queen to g2. The only defense is king g3, queen to e2, and now queen to e7. This is actually the only defense at all, because we need to stop g5, and the queen is pinning this pawn now. Fortunately for Black, he can just go queen d2 and draw the game. Notice rook e3 would be a horrendous blunder. It blocks the king's only escape square after queen to h2. The king can no longer come back to e3. So therefore, queen d6 would have been a horrible mistake, would have changed the game from a win into a draw. But instead, Lasker played the right move, rook c7, bishop c6, and he actually just let him take on f3 and played g3 here. And notice this rook has not moved, basically, for a long, long time. Eventually, it gets back into the game. I think Lasker's technique was a little suspect in this game, although he was always winning. This move just doesn't quite work. Just g6, and now Chigorin resigned because he realized rook h6. Rook h8 followed by g7 was coming. There's no way to stop it. But the key lesson from this game is pay attention to rooks like the rook on g6. Or anytime you can kind of isolate a piece like that, and you can just play around it. Like Lasker was virtually up a rook the entire game. So Lasker now has 10.5 out of 16 with a dominating performance against the top 3 players in the world. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.